reversal for what she wants to know. And she wants to know what's happening in her marriage. And the God and the saints will reveal the answer to your question, what's hidden behind black. Here we go. I'm going to have to dig on this one. Circle?
Circle.
Here we go. It says that's... Oh, let me check first. It says that slowly that there's this temptation or this different mindset or this different ideology that's kind of taking over, and there's a point where this person may decide to leave you. It says that things are incomplete. So I don't know what's going on with you guys, if you guys are not getting along or if you're having problems or there's maybe a misunderstanding, but something isn't right there. It says, but there is fruit on the tree at some point. In other words, there's hope for the things can get really better, but you got to work at it. It talks about him being upside down, and then it talks about there being some broken hearts. So I don't know if that's yours or his or maybe family or something's happening with the family. That could be making a shift with everything that's going on. It talks about you and standing on your own 2 feet, stuff like that. And then it talks about impatience. Like there's just a lot of impatience. It talks about lovers. So I don't know if he's got a lover or you got a lover or you guys are lovers, but it just talks to lovers. It's saying the lovers. So that could mean you guys or it could mean someone else. Like I said, that's the hard part about throwing 2 people at the same time, because now I don't know who that applies to. Only you would know. So it says, so I don't know if you have kids, but there's someone younger involved. This could be a younger girl. This could be just someone younger, your kids, or I don't know if you guys have kids or what the deal is, but it's talking about someone younger. And then it says, you like go through different phases. So it's not saying that you're going down a depression, but there's 2 different mentalities that you have. And it says, but there's triumph in the end. So something you need to work through. It says you need to return to money. It's talking about returning to money. I don't know if money's an issue, but it says, but things aren't normal. They're not functioning. They're not happening the way they should. It says, and one of the main reasons could be money. So money keeps popping up. That's what it's telling me. It's kind of going, like I said, it's not very direct because it's not a real direct question. Like if you were telling me, well, he's not talking to me, things aren't the same, do you know what's going on? I could have answered you directly by answering his question. But the way things are sitting here, and I'm asking for both of you, I know as much as you know, because it's hard to throw 2 people at the same time. Did you have any questions? Or do you have some comments you want to make, or what do you want to do here? Because I could probably throw a couple more cards, but at the same time, like I said, it's going to be real difficult to give you something completely clear when I'm throwing both of you. That's not fun. Anything, guys?
Quite a lot.
Okay, so there you go. So that's the thing. I mean, to the point where it looks like
I don't know if he loves me or not.
Okay, that's well, and it talks about brokenhearted. So you don't feel loved, and that's one of the things it's talking about brokenhearted. Now I can dial in. Okay, so now I can finish this off and dial in. I feel a little bit better because I want you to be satisfied with what I'm telling you. I don't want to beat around the bush, but they're telling you that things are incomplete. So there's some animosity there between the both of you. It says, but there's triumph. It's the way you approach it. I mean, he loves you, but it says he's head over heels for you, but maybe you've changed, or maybe you've changed the way you look at him, or maybe he's changed the way he looks at you, and you need to have some better communication skills. You guys don't communicate very well. That's what kind of leaves things incomplete. And maybe he doesn't want to hear it, or you don't want to hear it, but
he chooses his friends over me.
He chooses what?
His friends over me.
There's a lack of communication. I mean, if you're arguing a lot, you don't want to really spend time a lot with that person. If you're communicating well, then you guys start doing things together again. I think that's something you need to look at. So there's a change that's coming, but you're gonna have to work towards it. So here's what I'll tell you. If you want to work with me, you can go to my email and send me a thing within 24 hours. I can work with you, but you have to be willing to make some changes. Even though you're saying it's him, it could be you, and whatever I teach you on how to handle certain things will kind of move you forward so you can kind of better manage your relationship. a lot of people, I still tell them and they still do whatever they want. And they end up doing things they shouldn't, like beating up their spouse or doing other stuff. Not like we've had that on our show. But.
and we've only married for 1 month and it's already downhill.
It's downhill because the thing is, like I said, him breaking away from them and having the ball and chain, not something he's used to, but there's ways to change that. So you have to decide what your limits and your boundaries are, right, guys? I mean, if you're taking it and you just kind of argue about it, but you're still there, you got to change the fucking energy on that shit, like quick, and I can show you how to do that. And it's basically, you need to stand, you got to stand up. We all have to stand up for ourselves. We all deserve to be worthed and valued and loved. And so if you don't stand up for yourself and you kind of keep sticking around, maybe you got to make a change. Maybe it's not going to work out. It says it's unfortunate the way things are at home, but it talks about you're going to return to love. So I think it's your approach, and I say this to everybody, and I think the ones that have learned it the most, and they still have trouble every now and then, their approach before was just horrible. Now I think it's a lot more settled. I mean, it's not as drastic and as volatile. It's just a different approach and how to handle things to where things get solved a lot quicker.
I wish. For that.
Just for that, you're gonna get one. So,
Get one.
but I think that happens with a lot of people as they start to accept. And I don't think your man has accepted the fact that he's married and that he can't do what he wants, and so that's kind of bothering him. Now, if before you knew he was always around his friends and you were with him still, and you kind of accepted it, then you kind of accepted that into your marriage. But if you would have kind of cut those people out before you got married, then things would have been a little bit different. So there's things we can do to change that. I mean, like I said, as long as you're willing to take it, he's going to continue to do it. So it says you return to love, though, and I'll throw one more, and it says you just don't know how to defend yourself. There you go. So those are the things that need to change here. So if you want to work with me, you have 24 hours. I'll give you my email real quick. So be prepared to take this down or take a snapshot of the screen or whatever you want. It's at genxyztalk@gmail.com. And you can email me and tell me within 24 hours you want to work with me. And we'll get back to you. You'll get my personal number. And you'll be able to text me and do a bunch of stuff. You'll get free access to me like everybody else that's got free access to me. And there you go.